perfect.
World of Warcraft has been around for nearly 16 years, and the Warcraft franchise goes back another 10. And throughout that entire period, the games have always featured one thing prominently: war. I mean, come on, it's literally called Warcraft, and its 2012 expansion, Mists of Pandaria, was no exception. But unlike many stories in the series up to that point, it forced the player to consider something. What did it really mean to live in a world of endless expansion and constant conflict?
To ask why we fight is to ask why the leaves fall. It is in their nature.
But a man by the name of Johnnie, better known as Doubleagent, wasn't having it. In a world whose map was drawn up in red and blue, he didn't sign up for the Horde or the Alliance. He chose to remain neutral.
What makes a man turn neutral? Lust for gold? Power? Or were you just born with a heart full of neutrality?
But his weird approach wasn't supposed to be an option. And while many applauded his creativity, others weren't happy that he'd chosen this path.
There were a lot of people who were just really upset that this person decided to spend their time doing this.
So how did one zany outlook on the game evoke such wildly different reactions from players and, well, change World of Warcraft forever?
How many hours a day do you spend leveling? Give me an average. Like, let's go through a week average.
I don't know if I really want to say.
Leveling up as a pacifist in World of Warcraft may not be easy, but you know what is? Switching to Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Check out the link in the description below for more information. Now, let's get back to the video. There are a lot of different ways to enjoy WoW, especially today. While content like dungeons, raids, and PvP have been the main focus of the MMO's endgame for quite some time, there are a lot of other things you can do. There are completionists and achievement hunters. There are collectors obsessed with obtaining mounts, pets, and item appearances. There's even role-playing, both serious and, well, not.
This guy just screaming for named Garouche. Garouche.
But the famously enigmatic Doubleagent had a very different focus. See, in the Mists of Pandaria expansion, a new playable race was introduced, the Pandaren. The race actually started as a joke after artist Samwise Didier drew something for a family member. A Pandaren brewmaster named Chen Stormstout was added to the bonus campaign of Warcraft 3 as a reference to the drawing. So before you go making any Kung Fu Panda jokes, just know that the Pandaren were here first.
Get ready to feel the thunder!
So the Wandering Isle is the starting zone for the Pandaren, and it's actually an island that's on the back of a turtle. And you play through the whole zone, and at the end of it, you have to pick either the Alliance or Horde, these two warring factions. And that particular choice is kind of thematically tied to the expansion itself, which is that the world is being carved up into these two pieces. People are separated by that, even people who had no affiliation with either faction.
Now, pretty much everyone who starts a Pandaren character leaves the island, because of course they do. That's the whole damn point. Now, in World of Warcraft, the primary way to level up is typically to complete quests, and as you eventually run out of them on the Isle, the game directs you to continue your adventure elsewhere. But Doubleagent didn't think of it that way. Instead, he just wanted to see if it was possible to hit max level while remaining neutral. But since leaving the island would force you to choose between either the Horde or Alliance factions, he would need to find a way to level while remaining there. Enemies eventually stop giving XP when you are a substantially higher level, so there was really only one option. The XP gain from gathering herbs and mining ore, even if it's just a tiny amount. So Doubleagent had a plan for getting to max, but that didn't mean that there weren't other obstacles in his way.
So in WoW, without a faction, there actually isn't a lot you can do. The game is based around being able to go to your capital city, which requires a faction, to do things like learn to ride a mount, sell things on the auction house. So not having that actually meant that Doubleagent couldn't do a lot of things that normal WoW players could do.
And so in September of 2012, Doubleagent began his long and peaceful journey towards the then max level of 90. A global conflict raged far from his island. Fleets clashed and cities burned. The fates of entire nations were decided. All of it without the Panda's knowledge. But despite his Panda's pacifistic path, Doubleagent was actually met with a lot of resistance.
Yeah, there were a lot of people who didn't really know what to make of it. There were rumors that he would be forced to leave the island by a Blizzard GM. There were people who reported him as a bot, but that was just the stuff in-game. Like, out of game, there were a lot of people who were just really upset that this person decided to spend their time doing this.
In the game itself, Doubleagent completed thousands of loops through the Wandering Isle. And after about 174 days of played time, which equates to almost 4,200 hours in-game, he hit max level in June of 2014, an achievement that led the community to come out in force to watch happen. WoW had its first max level neutral character, and without intending it, Doubleagent emerged as a kind of celebrity. Although his streams showing off his leveling had never been particularly lively, the soft-spoken player had become known throughout WoW for his incredible and mind-numbing achievement, which he talked about on the Pwnecast podcast.
So you're maxed out now on that Panda. Do you go back to him? And if you do, what would be the purpose? To sit on Wandering Isle and greet the passersby? I mean, what's the purpose once you have no more purpose?
Pretty much that. I'll just go on and greet people every once in a while. But I also got a neutral hunter that I'm working on as well.
He even teased the prospect of his character leaving the island as an elaborate April Fool's joke, using the public test realm.
I can't come back! I don't know how it works!
Anyway, by the time Doubleagent had hit 90, the next expansion was mere months away. But even with a new level cap, he continued his grind. And finally, after years of hard work, his efforts were rewarded. You see, for most WoW players, there's something that no amount of gold can buy, and that no world-first raid boss kill can earn you. It's the rarest of honors, to be immortalized within the game itself for your achievements. From some of the community's most memeable moments...
Falstad is not in the game at all. What happened to him?
Isn't Falstad dead? From Day of the Dragon? No?
No, he survived, and in fact, he was the leader of Airy Peak in Vanilla WoW through Wrath of the Lich King.
Hey, of course.
To their fallen heroes. Having your achievements immortalized inside World of Warcraft is one of the purest forms of bragging rights in the game.
A lot of these people that are famous to the community for doing certain things are in there. That would be neat to see something like maybe the patient panda or the neutral panda or something like that.
An NPC even,
right.
A guy that you go and buy some stuff from on the Wandering Isle.
And on July 23rd, 2016, it was Doubleagent's turn to be honored. In the Legion expansion, the Wandering Isle served as a class order hall for monks, and scurrying around to herb and mining nodes, mostly in Ghost Wolf form, was the Venerable Shaman, a reference to the long gathering grind that Doubleagent had used to hit max level on the island. But even being added into the WoW universe hasn't stopped Doubleagent from leveling with every subsequent expansion. The only thing that's changed is that he stopped publicizing exactly how much time it takes, because he catches too much grief about it. With the Shadowlands expansion finally arriving and Blizzard scaling down character max levels to 60, the world's most famous Pandaren can resume his quest. And I'm almost tempted to say that he can get it out of the way quickly and actually enjoy the game's new content, such as the dungeons, outdoor areas, and everything else that's being added in Shadowlands. But that's sort of what this whole story taught us, right? There are different ways to have fun. And for Doubleagent, picking hundreds of thousands of flowers for years while doing a low-key stream and maybe watching some Netflix on a second monitor was enjoyable.
This is weird. I'm never seen your face on your YouTube channel. Usually there's no Johnnie on the YouTube channel. This is a first.
Well, I usually turn the camera on when I'm about to hit a level.
At the end of the day, what Doubleagent has done is just basic human impulse. To see a huge, impractical mountain and say, I'm gonna climb that, even if there's no guarantee of a tangible payoff. And honestly, if being a peaceful, horticulture-obsessed panda is how he chooses to enjoy his journey through WoW, then who are any of us to try and stop him?
Yeah, I think a lot of people might say, listen, I mean, what actually changed in WoW as a result of having like a max level neutral character? And it's true that for most people, like, it didn't change their day-to-day WoW experience, but I think it's important for the same reason that exploration is important. It can teach us something new about our environment. You know, listen, I'm not gonna go level a neutral character to max level anytime soon, but it is pretty cool that somebody thought, yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Congrats.
Still picking the flowers.
Tangible payoff. Tangible payoff. Wow. 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 Why? All right. The best part is for Heroes of the Storm, where like you literally have like all these assets that like Blizzard invented. You know, like Kyle, you can play as him, right? And he has like a skill set that is like, you just look at, you're like, oh, it's like Invoker. He's kind of like Invoker. And I'm just in the back of my mind, I'm just imagining Blizzard being like, like, no.